Hey guys, I'm going to first show you what was happening to my yard after a few days of heavy rains, and then I'm going to show you what I tried to do to remedy it. As you can see, my backyard is completely underwater, all by the fence, because that's the lowest point in my backyard, so naturally the water trickles down and gathers there. Now, what's causing this is that all the rainwater from my house is collected in the gutters and comes right out of two downspouts and onto my yard where it sits and gathers. I did a bunch of research online and watched some YouTube videos on how to, combat this. And I learned about French drains and regular drains from the downspouts. It didn't look like anything too complicated, so I tried to do it myself. First, I had to come up with a plan. So what you're looking at right now is just an aerial photo of my house, my whole property. So here we're going to concentrate on the backyard. As you saw before in the video, this spot over by the fence was really where it was flooding up with water. And I have two downspouts right here and right here, as well as two exhaust pipes from my humidifier and heating and air conditioning unit, which pretty much just drain right next to the foundation of the house, which isn't good. So my plan was to create a solid drainage pipe. It starts here, goes here to this drainage pipe, and then I would actually drill into the pipe right here and right here, with the smaller pipes coming down into it, and then run it all the way over here. And I was planning to make this a French drain right here, and then connect it to solid pipe again and run it all the way to the curb. One part of the project I definitely messed up on was getting all the proper supplies. I probably did about 4 or 5 trips to Home Depot because as I went through the project, I discovered I needed more tools or materials. Here are the materials that I used throughout the course of the project. Some of these will be specific to my particular project, but most of them you'll need as well if you plan to do something like this. Obviously needed a bunch of PVC, got the 10-foot long, 4-inch in diameter. Then I needed the 1-inch and the 2-inch PVC for my exhausts, an elbow. I needed the perforated PVC pipes for the French drain section of it, and the bags of rocks for the French drain as well. The T connector, and then a downspout to PVC connectors as well. And you'll see those in the video. A couple of things that I already had was a shovel, gloves. Definitely needed the gloves, or else I would have gotten a lot of blisters from all the shoveling. A wheelbarrow. I needed the drill bits, specifically for the exhaust, getting into the PVC and drilling that. Tape measure, of course, Sharpie marker, T-square, shop vac. I ended up needing to get some of the water out, pavers, and a sledgehammer. My second trip, I got the PVC glue for keeping the pipes together, garden mesh, and the white PVC sleeves for the French drain segment of it, a lopper for cutting the roots that I encountered as I dug up, and then during the course of the project, a lot of water just naturally seeped into the trench that I had dug. So I needed a way to get all of that water out of the trench. So I had to get a water pump, put it down in the bottom of the trench and pump the water out. Finally, I realized that I needed to cut the curb. So I had to get a concrete saw and blade. So I began by just simply digging a ditch along the base of the house here, where my PVC pipe would go, all the way down to the corner. I need the connector, connect it here, and just run it. I found this paver as I was digging. You'll see a lot of water is down in there. And over here, I want to do the French drain. I'll connect it right here with the T. and then run it all the way out to the street. Now we'll fast forward a bit, and you'll see the pavers I had to take up. Now here I needed to bash the concrete with the sledgehammer, and also get a concrete saw to cut the curb. And you'll see all the pavers I had to take up, and I continued to keep digging. Probably took a little bit too low. If I was to do it again, I wouldn't have dug it as deep. I soon learned that in order to keep my pipe at a downward angle all the way to the street, I would have to start higher initially. I also drilled holes into my PVC for the water exhaust pipes to connect to, and then caulked around them so dirt wouldn't get in. I used pavers about every 5 feet to balance my pipes on. This also ensured that they wouldn't sink much after adding more dirt on. I used a string and some wooden stakes to get a level line across my yard. And then I used the T-square to make sure that the pipe was slightly lower every 5 feet, which I'm about to show you now. I also used the level to make sure that the pipe was very slightly angling downward. I also started the French drain portion here, which didn't really end up working out for me, because it didn't have enough downward slope. So I ended up not doing that and just filling it in. Instead of the T, I got an elbow and made the whole thing solid PVC pipe. I also had to suck all the water out of the trench using the shock vac, which was a big pain, and it took me a really long time to do so. After I connected all the pipes, making sure that they were at a downward angle, I could pile the dirt back on. I successfully connected both water exhaust pipes as well, and attached the connector from the downspout to the PVC. While covering it up, I used the shovel for the big clumps, and then I raked over the top to make it level, and then I just used my feet to pat down the soil. At the end, I had to use a concrete saw to cut through the curb, and I forgot to take video of me doing that, but you could look online and see other videos of how to do that. I then used some quick drying concrete and some rocks as a temporary fix around it. I'll eventually finish this curb, but this will hold for now. If I didn't do this step, the water would come right out of the pipe and go back underneath it instead of continuing down the street to the sewer. The night that I finished, we were due for some rain, so I got up in the morning to check to see if it was working. As I approached the gutter, I definitely could hear some water flowing, which was a good sign. Another good sign was that the places where their water used to collect along the fence were still dry. I went to check the spots where I had not installed the drainage pipes, and they were underwater again, as expected. Now it's time for the big test to see if the water was coming out of the pipe. This car was parked in the way, so it was a bit difficult for me to get in a good shot. So I bent down, and as if on cue,
the itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out.
haha, it worked. I was so relieved. Anyway, I hope this video is helpful for anybody with a similar problem. Good luck.